My name is Felix Tang, and I practice intellectual property law at Innovate LLP.
You're one of the founders there?
I'm a co-founder.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it that you guys do there?
We basically help businesses, both startups, small businesses, and even small publicly traded companies. Basically, help them strategize and manage their intellectual property.
Toronto is a hub. We're here at LawTechCamp in Toronto. May consider this a hub of a lot of activity around the startup and technology space.
Mm-hmm.
Why are companies such as Innovate and what you guys offer, why are things like protecting IP important for these types of companies?
Okay, so we're located in the Mars Center, and that's a government organized building where it's they're trying to create a technology park or an incubator and try to connect a lot of different people together. Mm-hmm. The reason we're there is we're really trying to help tech startups understand what intellectual property is, how they can use it effectively, mm-hmm. and really how to manage their cash flow and really how to obtain intellectual property protection on a cost-effective basis. Mm-hmm. And to understand the reasons why. I think that's what it really comes down to. Intellectual property strategy always supports business strategy. So
sure.
To help our clients get it clear in their head what they're trying to accomplish from a business side, and then to say, is IP even right? Do you need a patent? Maybe you don't. Do you need a trademark? Maybe you don't. Mm-hmm. That's the question we ask first, and then if the answer is yes, or we need to do some exploration, then we will go down that path.
At what stage should a company be talking to someone like yourself?
I think a company should be thinking about intellectual property if they're a tech company, in an innovation company, right from the beginning. Mm-hmm. They don't necessarily have to talk to someone like me
sure.
as a professional, but they should be in self-education mode. They need to learn the basic fundamental differences between a patent versus a trademark. And out of all the things in intellectual property, it's really patents that have the most risk and really the most cost, because you can be barred from getting patent protection if you do things like disclose how your invention works to the public. That could actually prevent you from getting patent protection. And that's really the only risk. And it's to clarify, some of the myths around that, mm-hmm. and what is actually, what you can do, what you can't do, and what you could do to mitigate your risk. Mm-hmm. That's really where you would add value in the beginning. And then from there, then you can decide, well, how should I spend my money or my limited budget, and what's the best way to allocate that?
Interesting. Recently, for a while now, Samsung and Apple have been going at it in regards to patent protection, and there's even companies out there that are set up for the specific reason of, what some would refer to as patent trolls. Mm-hmm. I'm curious if you have any thoughts around this whole issue of whether patents are stifling innovation or are they helping it, and I wonder if you have any thoughts on that.
Okay.
On that conversation.
My background is from computer engineering.
Okay.
I'm very much, my master's was copyleft. I've contributed source code to the Linux kernel. I wish I sort of patented my master's. I did GPU computing in 2002. So I really understand that side, the free and open source, which was interesting because now it's not a debate anymore. These concepts exist, they're accepted, and they're just used as another tool. Patents are sort of the opposite of that. Not really the opposite, but they're in a different realm. Patents are about giving you a government-granted monopoly for 20 years from the date of filing, mm-hmm. allowing you to control a market or allowing you to restrict the freedom to operate of another company, such as your competitor, or to guarantee your freedom to operate. Once it's money on the table, to me now it's strategy and tactics. It's business using the tools that they have to their advantage, and I kind of, as part of that system, I do have to subscribe to that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think that a lot of people have difficulty with, straight patent trolling. Like, this company doesn't produce anything. They own, thousands or hundreds or maybe tens of thousands of paper patents. And they're saying, look, we invented this. You have to give us money. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people have a policy problem with that compared to say, I'm a manufacturing company, I make this wonderful machine that solves someone's problem, and people pay me a certain amount of money for that product, and it actually solves their problem, and someone from another country or some competitor is just straight up copying me and just knocking me off, and they shouldn't be allowed to do that. I think you have these two sides, and again, it's sort of like, how do you conceptualize that? So I think with patent trolling, the US government is now taking steps, and they're saying, no, we need to control patent trolling somehow. And then it's going to be a policy line drawing exercise, and no matter where they draw the line, not everyone can be happy.
Absolutely.
Right? But there's too much money vested in the patent system where easy change doesn't happen. And I think one of the fundamental problems is, we believe in our society in the rule of law, as much as possible. And again, we can have a policy debate about that. But the same patent laws that govern, Apple and Samsung, multinational, multi-billion-dollar companies, govern the small startup, which is, funded with $10 million, or the small startup, which has $500 in their pocket. They are all subject to the same patent system. And I think that is some of the difficulty. And you can't really say to make, the question then is, well, how do you solve that problem? Do you have different rules? That doesn't really work. How do you differentiate between that? What happens when a small company grows into a large company, which happens, So I think that is where a lot of the difficulty is around the system right now.
How can people connect with you, Felix?
You can email me. You can felix.tang@innovatellp.com. You can find me on Twitter, at FelixSTang. Just Google me. That's probably the easiest way.
Excellent. Thanks for your time.
No problem.